So it's been over 12 months. Did produce some content back in the day, but what am I up to? Why am I back? What's the reason for posting since about 12 months ago now? What's been happening? Still in the same industry. Just trying to think of where I was every time I'm making content outside of those videos. I was sitting around 13 sales, so about one sale a month, which for my standards I was very content with, very happy with. I was very deep with each client that I was working with, really enjoyed that perspective, went all in to do the right things essentially. So building and pest inspections, going to them, showcasing every private viewing I could possibly do, no outside help, no real support either, but no external blame for that. That was certainly more of what the stigma was with real estate, sink or swim, farm area, all that stuff. So I was getting a lot stronger at just managing the whole thing. And then that's when the opportunity, sitting at 13 sales, I was like, look, there probably is a better option out there, at least maybe for community network growth, all those sort of things that you look at when you start getting like, there could be a potential for more. So I did make the decision to, without really exploring it too much, make a transition to what conventionally, I guess, in the real estate industry, you're recommended to do, like move to another brokerage, part of like a bigger sort of network, utilize the brand, and did do that to good success. Again, like, was sort of, okay, like, what do I do from here outside of just moving and continuing from what I'm doing? There was three things that did take me to that next level and afforded me the luxury of essentially being where I am now. Utilized the past 12 months to be in a position to afford the house I'm in now in this Perth real estate market. Love this house. Probably half the reason why I started this content again. I'm in a beautiful office space here. We're doing renovations at the moment, so if you are low-key, not by any means I'm for whatever those terms are, like a content creator or anything like that, but obviously I love real estate, so if you want to potentially see the pre and post renovations of this place, obviously head over to my Instagram or just send a message down here if you are watching this. I mean, this is the first video, so even in future time, if I do a lot more videos, this might be the video that people circle back to, but we'll see. But there were three things that I did decide to start doing a little bit differently that wasn't conventionally what the sales managers, the principals, the licensees, the franchisee owners really tell you to do. Even like the real estate coaches out there that haven't been in the real estate game, if ever, in multiple years. Yes, some of them are really great at sales training, but a few of those things didn't really sit well with me when it came to real estate, because I got into it off the back of purchasing my first home. Didn't really enjoy the sales process I went through, felt like I was more of a number and a transaction than anything else. Again, a story for another video. But that's what would have drawn me into it, and treating it as such again, just to essentially scale from here. The methodology was, sell more, sell yourself more, prospect more, market more to get more. And as great as that is, obviously I did successfully get to a level that I was happy with, probably putting me statistically the top 15% of active real estate agents, just from a volume perspective. 27 sales, I hate really using that term, so 27 families or owners that I helped get a great outcome for their property and move on to their next chapter. Obviously looking back on some of them now, really great stories and great outcomes. But the big three things that changed with me for that, to allow me to still keep that same level of attention without necessarily bringing on like a staff or going down a business ownership route or selling more, prospecting more. The three big things, one of them was utilizing my database via an email and having like a direct communication with the people that choose to engage with me. That was obviously really big. Never really asking for much in the emails for give me an appraisal, all those things. That was never really the focus. It was more so, hey, this is what I'm seeing happening in the market at the moment. This is my 2 cents. This is my opinion. And then eventually people just started responding and engaging, asking me to come out to an appraisal. And I do have obviously all those emails saved still, even though I'm no longer with that brokerage. I wrote them independently and everything else, nothing AI generated. So yeah, that would be a good thing to revisit, of how many deal flows come through there. But that was certainly a big one, is treating it a bit more personable, and obviously speaking to many via an email, which is what it is, but with a bit more of an intent than just transactional value of ending every email with click the link for an appraisal, or ending every email with this is probably why you should be selling now and why you should use me. It just didn't really stick with me that well. And it was good to see people were engaging with the message back, and without me directly asking, just showing that very surface level to a degree with what email is, because you can't go into a lot of nuance, but just showcasing that and speaking to those people did help with that engagement. The second one to that was certainly past clients, just speaking to them again, use that client's terms, how embedded it is. Yes, they are a client, of course, I will appreciate that, but keeping in touch with those people that I helped, and a large portion of them, even if they weren't directly selling again, because I've been doing it for 5 years now, they did actually know people, passed on a couple of recommendations, nothing extreme, but they just sort of, at a family dinner party, might have mentioned my name, and I did get a few reach outs from that. And again, those two things were starting to make a difference for the psychology of how I was approaching real estate. And yeah, at that point, I was probably saying like a good portion of those deal flows were coming through there. And probably the final one, and that does start to deviate a little bit more into the systems and workflows and the back end stuff, is actually just staying in touch with the people that you haven't actually helped yet, and continuing to provide just some awareness perspective. Because when people come through open homes, especially in this market for the past 12 months, I can guarantee, I mean, even if you're watching this now and you're not a real estate agent, or if you are and you've bought a house, when was the last time you got a call from any of the agents that you went through a home open with at all? Yeah, I'm waiting. Probably because there's not a lot that even called you whilst you were looking for that house. And we were looking for this place for 6 weeks and went through multiple homes, put in multiple offers, and not one of them, no discredit to any of them, because that's not, again, what conventionally is taught to do in a upswinging seller's market. You focus on the sellers, you speak to the sellers. We weren't really communicated back with much, and obviously, yeah, I'd argue a lot of buyers probably would share that same sentiment. So I started to set up a few systems, automations, workflows, and ad managements for those buyers that I had emails of, I had phone numbers of, and I just utilized a method through instant links that they wanted to engage with, general emails, things of that nature. Again, I can get into a bit more of the nuance with all that of how it was done, but they were the big three things that really did help. So emails, actually engaging with them, making it like a bit of a story and a pulse on the market, and a bit more opinionated and personality wise rather than transactional emails. And they were people that I've helped before, and just obviously the people that were on my email list and were engaging. So if people opted out, I wouldn't be then spam messaging them to try get them back, or buying data and putting people onto email lists. It was people that I was aware of or indirectly knew of me. Second one to that, obviously the third one was the systems. Second one, because I'm filming it off the cuff here, yeah, past clients. So staying in touch with them, past people that I've helped, and that did help me go from that 13 to 27. Obviously the brokerage that I was at as well was a great brokerage, an awesome little team. It wasn't big, no other sales agents, no other like in-office principal manager. Did start to get the general manager towards the end, and helped a few people in the office get onto better careers and or level up their internal career. So yeah, that's me in sort of a nutshell, looking to get back into the more of a content thing. That's sort of where I've been before this, has sort of been heads down, buying, selling properties myself, helping double the amount of people that I've helped in any year prior to this. Families, investors. Yes, there are good ones out there that are just mum and dad investors that have 1 or 2 properties and they're just trying to help their kids or themselves retire early, or their kids get ahead, helping them. So yeah, double the volume that I've ever done, 27 deals over the past 12 months. And now I'm technically looking at the horizon at even greater opportunities, which is like really exciting. So yeah, that's where I've been. I guess the people that might still be hypothetically watching this long And sort of the reason I made this video is agents that who I was, say 1 to 4 or 5 years in, doing less than 15 deals, I'd say, because generally with that, especially if you're past the first year and you're sub 15 sales over a calendar year or a financial year, or at least in the past 12 months, subject to you going away or whatever the case may be, there's clear things by that point that I think aren't conventionally taught that you can definitely start doing from the jump, and will probably, even if it's not doubling in 12 months, could add 1 to 2 over a quarter people that you could help that you might not have had the opportunity to without these things that you're doing. So those 3, like I mentioned before, you can rewatch. If I can put some timestamps in since my first video back, I will. But yeah, those 3 things. Utilizing personality emails, that can be content in any form of way, but I liked emails because I have a background in email copywriting, especially when you can still write them yourself. A lot of emails that you probably subscribe to are written by the AI because they do all sound the same, especially if there's that double dash gap in between. And then, yeah, obviously keeping in touch with the people that have helped, that was another big one. And the more people you have helped, the more people you have to retouch back in with. The best people are people that you've already helped, I like working with. And yeah, the final off the back of that is systems, workflows, automations, ads, really systemizing that, because again, the people that are teaching that are either people that have never sold real estate in their life, or they're coaches that are learning on the go but not practical hands-on, so they're not actually a practitioner. So that was all self-taught, and that's what's led me to the next chapter now, providing this content. Again, if any of it's resonated with you, feel free to just engage, throw a comment in. Like I said, I'm not expecting too much from this, especially starting out. We'll see where we're at in 3 to 6 months, but yeah, the whole purpose of this, same as when I got started, to hopefully get to where I am now in terms of deal flow and happiness, was to start. So Thomas Whitford, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.